Hi again, everybody, from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field on the campus of Oregon State University in Corvallis, along with Everett Barty and Brian Thomas. This is Mike Parker welcoming you to Game 1 of the three-game West Coast League Series between the Corvallis Knights and the Ridgefield Raptors on another pleasant evening, cool 77-ish degrees, heading down the stretch of what has been a most intriguing summer for the standard bearers in the West Coast League lo these many years. 10 championships through the years, including that magnificent 7 run. This year it's been more of a slog and tougher going. But the Knights have won the last 2 series and are coming into this series with Ridgefield hot as they head down the stretch with 9 games remaining, trying to secure a postseason spot. This is the 19th year of Corvallis Knights baseball, and they have made the playoffs in all 18 previous seasons, 14 championships appearances, and 10 championships. So it is the expectation for the franchise, the organization, and for the players themselves. And one of the hottest of Corvallis Knights players, leading the Knights to the series win against the Yakima Valley Pippins over the weekend, incoming freshman Tate Hammond, UCLA bound out of Long Beach Poly, is white hot at the plate. Coming up in our pregame show, we will meet the versatile ball player, corner infielder, has done a really good job at third base, but the bat is hot and alive, and he believes that he's in a good groove now. He weathered a slump earlier this year that wasn't so much a swing that needed to be reinvented, or even so much that he wasn't making good contact. He hit in bad luck for the first several weeks of the season, and his batting average reflected it, but he was swinging the bat well and never did lose faith in his own process. And that faith has been rewarded. It's paying off. He's red hot, the Knights' hottest hitter. We will meet Tate Hammond here in a moment, get to the starting lineups and more, with the Corvallis Knights coming home for the first of a 6-game homestand. But if you haven't been out to see the Knights this summer, the days are dwindling down to a precious few. We're not quite to a September song, but the August song is just around the corner. So we hope you're planning on coming out tonight to see the Knights, and if not tonight, you have a good opportunity between now and through Sunday. The final 6 games of the regular season at home, and then the Knights will be on the road to close out the regular season with 3 games against the Ridgefield Raptors, their opponent here tonight up in Southwest Washington. Then the playoffs begin. The Knights are not in. They've not clinched a spot, but getting hot here down the stretch has led them to an opportunity to get back to postseason play, but they need to take care of business the next couple of days. We're going to take care of some business now on our end. Thanks all of our sponsors for their support of Knights baseball. A 2-minute break, and then back with Knights third baseman Tate Hammond. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Our pregame show continues as we head down the stretch. 9 games remaining, a 6-game homestand beginning tonight with Ridgefield. And the Knights are hot, and particularly the guy who kind enough to join me, Tate Hammond. Tate, you had a tremendous series this past weekend, and I think it feels like you've been getting hot here down the stretch. But the 3 games that I didn't see up in Yakima, just tell me how locked in you felt, how good you felt at the plate.
I felt good. Felt like I was seeing the ball pretty well. And, we just talked about with the coaches just getting the head out and just almost swinging harder with more intent.
Okay. Tate, I've watched most of your season and saw early a lot of bad luck, line drives at people. How did you weather for you what was, I'm sure, looking at your batting average and numbers, not what they normally are? How did you kind of handle all that, knowing it would come back around?
Just knowing like the line outs and the hard hit balls are good swings and not being too focused on the result itself.
Okay. So the process didn't change. You didn't make any adjustments to now the balls are falling, you're hot. Nothing changed in terms of your approach?
Nah, I was keeping it simple.
Yeah, okay. Tate Hammond joining me. Speaking of keeping it simple, I don't know if it's a simple choice in life coming out of Long Beach Poly to stay in the Southland and go to UCLA, but could you tell me and tell us a little bit about how you worked that through in your mind?
The second they started recruiting me, I was extremely excited, and then once Coach Savage offered me, I committed on the same phone call. So it was a pretty easy decision.
Were there other schools, though, that were reaching out that kind of piqued your interest, but UCLA was just kind of in a different category?
Yeah, there were a handful of SoCal schools that are reaching out, but UCLA was definitely the top one.
Yeah, that's a great program, a championship caliber program. How excited are you about going there and kind of envisioning yourself being part of that program?
Yeah, super excited. Can't wait to learn from all the coaches and just be close to home, but still have the college experience.
In that regard, Tate, how has this summer been, and how important has it been in terms of reps and ABs and development? Tell us a little bit how valuable this experience has been.
Yeah, it's been fun. Definitely going from high school to here was a little challenging at first, but then I think it's been good being able to see the type of arms that we see here every day. So I'm more prepared when I get up on campus.
Had you ever spent any time in the state of Oregon or the Pacific Northwest before becoming a Corvallis Knight? And if so, whatever your answer is, how have you liked it here this summer?
I went to Eugene for a trip. That was cool. And Corvallis is great. Yeah.
Have you enjoyed playing in this ballpark before the fans? You get a sense of how important the culture of baseball is around here.
Yeah, it's great playing with a big crowd every night. And it's the environment. It makes you want to win.
Tate Hammond, last couple of things, UCLA bound heading down the stretch with the Knights. You guys, it feels like you're getting hot and in kind of an up and down season. Do you feel like there's a good run in here for you guys to get back to a championship level?
Yeah, I feel like this whole week and then next week in the last series, we're going to keep the hot streak going, and we feel great about it.
And in terms of what Coach Savage or the coaches who recruited you have said about where you're going to settle as a position player, do you have a feel for that? You've shown real versatility here. Do you have a preferred ideal spot, or tell me a little bit about that?
They said first or third. I like third better, but really just wherever I can get in the lineup.
Yeah. And it looks like you've been pretty comfortable at third. Is that your high school position? Where have you played in high school?
In high school, I played short, but in summer ball and all that, I was mainly third.
Okay. So whatever they want you to do, as long as you're in the lineup. Yep. Tate, it's been a real pleasure to have you as a Corvallis Knight this summer. Good luck down the stretch, and we look forward to following you at UCLA. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Tate Hammond, my guest on the pregame show. Had the pleasure of meeting his mom here a few weeks back. She's on her way back in the Southland. So, Leslie, you should be proud, and I'm sure you are. Thanks for listening tonight. We've got the Corvallis Knights and Ridgefield Raptors in the first of a 3-game series, the first of a 6-game homestand, and the final 6-game homestand of the regular season. Now, we believe postseason baseball is still to come here. We know that there's a 3-game regular season ending series coming up in Ridgefield in early August. But if you haven't been out to see the Knights this summer, the chances are beginning to dwindle. So we encourage you to get out here tonight, tomorrow, and all the way through the weekend as the Knights wrap up the regular season at home. The first of a 6-game homestand. Adley-Rutschman bobblehead night is coming up on the 31st. You don't want to miss that. So there's a lot going on, and it's been another fun summer with the Knights. But certainly isn't over yet. As you heard, Tate Hammond believes there's a collective run. He's been red hot, but everybody else seems to be swinging it pretty well, too, here of late. The Knights trying to put it all together for a late stretch run. 10 championships in the organization's history, but they haven't had one since the 2023 season. They feel it's time to get back to the level that they have excelled at all these summers that we've enjoyed them together here in the Mid-Valley. Our thanks to Tate Hammond for joining us. Our thanks to you for tuning our way, however you're taking in the Knights and Ridgefield tonight. Beautiful evening at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The first pitch coming up next on the Knights live stream back in 2 on 1240 Joe Radio. Well, here we go. The Knights coming down the stretch of the 2026 regular season, beginning with tonight's ball game against the Ridgefield Raptors. And leading off for Chris Cota's Raptors. Chris, in his 7th year and the only head coach in Ridgefield Raptors history, he's coaching at third, Nick Allen at first for Ridgefield. Zach Wattis leads things off, the right fielder, against Knights right-hander Mitch Hagler, and a ground ball to short, fielded at shortstop by Joey Morosco. And Joey, whose grandparents Steve and Linda Zabriskie are in the ballpark tonight watching him play, accepts the chance in on the first pitch of the ball game, delivered by Micah Hagler. Hagler throws out, or gets help from Joey Morosco, who throws out the leadoff hitter, Zach Wattis. Jordan Marion, the batter. Jordan takes Hagler's first pitch for a strike. We're underway, 77 degrees. Slight breezes blowing out to left center. Beautiful evening for baseball. The quick working Hagler back to the plate. Fastball misses up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Zach Wattis in right field, grounded out to open the game. Jordan Marion in the 2-hole at second base. Josh Proctor, a familiar face, on deck, playing left field, batting third. Hagler's 1-1 pitch, a big chopper towards third, fielded cleanly by Ryan Severns. Ryan throws across to first for out number 2. Quickly, 2 away, Josh Proctor, the batter. Let me ask, on the air live here on 1240 Joe Radio and the Knights live stream, Everett, I'm hearing a little bit of clicking. Are we all good? Talk in my ear if we're okay. Okay, thank you. Braden Watson, the cleanup hitter at first base. Aaron Lewis batting fifth, the DH for Ridgefield. Braden Orem hitting sixth at shortstop. Reagan McCluskey batting seventh and catching. Hitting eighth and playing third base, Nate Stuyvesant. Ben Strutt batting ninth in center. Gavin Moran on the mound. Micah Hagler to the plate. Fastball for a strike. 0-1 the count to Oregon State's Josh Proctor, who began his collegiate journey with the Corvallis Knights last summer. Made a spectacular debut, and it's tough to ever top that. 8 RBIs in his first game here last summer with the Knights. He takes low the count 1-1. He's red hot in his short stint with Ridgefield after beginning the summer in the Cape Cod League. Josh takes down and away, ball 2-1. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the first inning, just getting underway. For the Knights, a battery of Micah Hagler and Xavier Rios with Maverick Russell at first, Diego Cruz at second, Joey Morasco at short, Ryan Severns at third. In the outfield, Ethan Porter in left, Max Medina in center, and Zane Garvey in right. 330 down both lines, 365 to the power alleys, 400 feet to straightaway center. Proctor takes the 2-1 pitch from Micah Hagler low for ball 3. The 3-1 pitch in on the fist, a ground ball to the left of the shortstop, Joey Morasco. He fields and throws out Proctor, and a good job by Micah Hagler, sinking the ball and producing 3 groundouts to open this 6-game and regular season finale homestand. Good start for the Knights. 3 groundouts, and at the end of half an inning, Ridgefield nothing. The Knights coming up. Back in 2 with a new pitcher. We need to get caught up on some things. So we'll be back in 2 on the Knights live stream. Back in 2 on Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Bottom of the first inning, a good outing thus far. Micah Hagler, an efficient 1-2-3, top of the first. And now for Brooke Knights. Brooke is not the only skipper in Knights history, but he only missed the first season in 2007. Matt Dory was the inaugural skipper for the Knights in 2007. Brooke at the helm since the 2008 campaign. Here's his lineup, leading off at second base, Diego Cruz. Maverick Russell batting second at first base. Diego runs up as if to slap. Diego takes a strike. Ethan Porter hitting third in left. Gavin Moran, strike one curveball in there for a strike, and he's quickly ahead 0-2 to Diego. Dakota Chun, the cleanup hitter and designated hitter for the Knights. Ryan Severns batting 5th at third. Zane Garvey hitting 6th in right field. Max Medina batting 7th in center. Xavier Rios hitting 8th and catching. Joey Morasco batting 9th at short. And Seattle U's Micah Hagler on the mound. Diego takes high and inside from Gavin Moran. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to the Knights second baseman, an Oregon State bound transfer. He takes the 1-2 pitch and is hit by the pitch, and the home plate umpire, Bryce Reeves, is bringing Diego Cruz back, I think calling it ball 2, but saying that Diego stuck his arm into the path of the plate. He's not required to try to get out of the way of the pitch, but he cannot put any part of his body purposefully into the path of the pitch. Brooke is trying to say to Bryce Reeves, my guy's just standing there and let the ball hit him. Bryce is indicating by a gesture that Diego shifted slightly into the pitch. A Reggie Jackson-esque type shift, the World Series. Just look at that hip. Look at Jackson's hip. He shifted it. He shifted it on the Bill Russell throw. That's what Bryce Reeves is trying to indicate. That changed the whole complexion of the 78 World Series. Not that anybody remembers or is at all bitter about anything. But Reggie did shift. And here, and now Bryce Reeves is also, to add insult to injury, calling Diego Cruz out on strikes for intentionally getting in the way of the pitch. Boy, that is a heck of a note. Instead of first base getting hit by the pitch, which was Brooke Knight's argument, Diego Cruz strikes out. It's a pretty big flip. 1 away, Maverick Russell will be the batter. 1 out, nobody on for Maverick. Gavin Moran to the plate. Fastball high and away. Ball 1, 1-0. Micah Hagler, the starter for the Knights. Gavin Moran now with a bit of a break. Also gets off to a good start, retiring the leadoff hitter. Hagler retired Ridgefield in order. The 1-0 pitch to the pride of Whittier, Richard Nixon country. UC Santa Barbara country. Whittier, Carver's country. Whittier Boulevard, a famous boulevard. Russell takes a strike in the count 1-1. 1 out, nobody on. Gavin Moran to the plate. Curveball down and in. Ball 2. 2-1 to Maverick Russell. Ethan Porter on deck. Gavin Moran and Reagan McCluskey, the battery for Ridgefield. Braden Watson at first, Jordan Marion at second, Braden Oram, O-R-A-M, no relation at short, Nate Stuyvesant at third. The 2-1 pitch misses outside to Maverick Russell, ball 3, 3-1. Josh Proctor in left, Ben Strutt in center, Zach Wattis in right. And when I say no relation, Oram, spelling his name as the fine columnist for the Oregonian, Bill Oram, O-R-A-M. You don't see that name very often. I assumed a relationship. The pitch to Russell, a fly ball to left. Josh Proctor, who does know the territory with the glasses down, moves back a couple of steps to make the catch. Josh has spent a lot of time in left field with Oregon State, knows the sun at this hour of the night, although in the spring it's not quite as problematic. But there are 2 down, and Ethan Porter, the batter. Bryce Reeves is calling balls and strikes tonight. Taylor Schneider on the base paths. Brooke Knight coaching at third, Marcus Matias at first. Gavin Moran to the plate, breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Ridgefield has clinched home field advantage in the playoffs beginning in just after the first week of August. The strike 1 pitch missing high and inside. Ridgefield winning the first half at 20-7, and with that goes home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Gavin Moran out of La Puente. I grew up in Hacienda Heights right next door. Ganesha High School. Curveball misses from Gavin. Ball 2, 2-1 to Ethan Porter. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Home plate umpire Bryce Reeves indicating that the count is 2-1, not 1-2. The scoreboard showing 1-2. The 2-1 pitch fisted into the stands off the hands of one of Scott Schuler's kids. Scott Schuler has raised his children well. when they get older, they won't depart from coming to baseball games and might even try to make a better play than one of Scott's oldest girls had the ball in her hands and it slipped out into Urchin Alley. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Porter, 2 outs, nobody on. Moran delivers ground ball to the left of the shortstop Orem and under his glove into shallow center field. Ben Strutt comes in to play the ball back in to Orem. It is a base hit for Ethan Porter, a 2-out single for the Oregon State sophomore to be. And Dakota Chun, the designated hitter, will be the batter. Good crowd coming in, and we hope you'll be part of these final homestand opportunities. Tomorrow night will be Pioneer Connect Salute to Service night. The first pitch is in there for a strike to Dakota Chun. 0-1 the count. R.R. Chandler Go Beavs night celebrating Oregon State on Thursday. And Friday night, Lakeshore Lanes presenting the Adley Rutschman bobblehead night. So make sure you get here early for Friday night, 6:35 ball game. Star Wars night on Saturday, Fan Appreciation night on Sunday. The pitch to Dakota missing down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Ethan Porter, a 2-out single held on by Braden Watson. Ethan has been very aggressive on the base paths this summer. He was leaning. He draws a throw and gets back to the bag. Porter did not really run at all for Mitch Canham this past spring, a dimension that we've seen much more of, his athletic ability. He's 10 for 12 in stolen bases. Third on the club in stolen base opportunities. He draws another throw and gets back. No score, bottom of the first inning. Porter starting the night at a team leading 330 in terms of numbers of games. Dakota Chun, though, hitting a robust 393 through 7 games. He hits a ground ball to second. Jordan Marion fields and flips to first, and the inning is over. For the Knights, a 2-out single for Ethan Porter. Ethan left stranded at first. We're underway. Great to have you with us. The Knights in Ridgefield after 1. The Raptors nothing, the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Top of the second inning, no score. Knights right-hander Micah Hagler ready to go, making his first start. Ground ball wide of third, under the glove of Ryan Severns and past the attempt of shortstop Joey Morosco in the hole. Brooks Hatch has not immediately flashed hit up on the board, so I know he's contemplating a possibility of assessing an E5 against Ryan Severns, but he has flashed hit. Braden Watson, a leadoff single on the first pitch of the second inning, delivered by Micah Hagler. And now Aaron Lewis, the batter. Micah, in his 2 innings of relief, has allowed 3 hits, 4 innings, I should say, in his 2 appearances in relief. 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. His first pitch to Aaron Lewis out of the University of Portland is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. A leadoff single for Braden Watson. The strike 1 pitch bounced. Good block by Knights catcher Xavier Rios. That evens the count at 1-1 strike. Lewis out of the University of Portland and out of San Francisco. Sacred Heart Cathedral Prep. Hit .282 for the Pilots this past spring. 1-1 strike to the left-hand hitter. He swings and lines one to center field, but in the tracks of Max Medina. And Max barely had to move. He makes the catch, pretty good contact, but an out. And Braden Orem will be the batter. Orem out of Lower Columbia Community College originally, 2 years there, is now transferred to Metro State Denver. Went to Tumwater High School. Well, we're drawing closer to the Tumwater era reigniting in the Mid-Valley. But anyway, Tumwater High School, Lacey, Washington, coached by Lyle Overbay, the former big leaguer when he was at Tumwater, Braden Orem. Takes low and away, ball 1. Very surprising to me. I reached out to Bill Orem, believing that he'd say, "Oh yeah, that's a distant relative of sorts, third cousin, great nephew." What Bill said, no. And there's another guy on the roster named Harrison Hofarth out of Seattle U. Harrison also from Vancouver. And he's not a relation to Tom Hofarth, the fine sports writer for many decades for the LA Daily News. Although Tom did respond and say, "I think I've got to be, and I'm going to go searching, and he'll get back to me after he does his genealogical research on Harrison Hofarth." But Braden Orem, no relation to Bill, takes a strike in the count 1-1. Braden Watson at first, no score, top of the second. The 1-1 pitch from Micah Hagler is in there for strike 2 to Orem. 1-2 strikes. Orem's had a good summer, short. He's hitting .333 with a homer and 5 RBIs. He taps one foul to his head coach, Chris Cota. Chris has been at it a long time, here for 7 years, 26 years at College of the Canyons as the head coach in Santa Clarita, his alma mater. Outstanding baseball coach and has done a tremendous job with Ridgefield and has the Raptors in a good spot. Clinching the first half, winning the first half, and thus home field advantage, as I mentioned. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3. Braden Orem goes down, swinging. 2 down, and Reagan McCluskey will be the hitter. Reagan, right-hand hitting catcher out of Brentwood, Tennessee, redshirted at the Pac-12's Dallas Baptist this past season. Yes, I said it. The Pac-12's Dallas Baptist, at least a baseball affiliate, so we may indeed see Reagan next spring when DBU and the Beavers do battle. Reagan takes high and inside, ball 1. A tremendous addition, as you well know, to the Pac-12 baseball world. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, top of the second inning. No score. Micah Hagler settles in at the belt, delivers a fastball just inside. Ball 2, 2-0 to McCluskey. Micah 6'2", 190. 6'3", 215, pardon me, out of Seattle U. Comes to the plate, a slow roller up along third. The only hope would be to let it go foul, but Ryan Severns bare hands and throws out McCluskey. He had a hope I knew not of, and it kind of rested upon the lack of sprinter speed on McCluskey's part to be able to play the slow chopper bare hand and throw out Reagan for out number 3. No runs. A single on the first pitch of the inning, but Braden Watson left stranded at first. We go to the bottom of the second. Ridgefield nothing, the Knights nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCC. What makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
No score, bottom of the second inning, the Knights and the Ridgefield Raptors. The Knights starting the night at 24-21 overall. Ridgefield at 27-18 after going 20-7 in the first half. Ryan Severns will lead things off for the Knights against Ridgefield right-hander Gavin Moran. Ryan will be followed by Zane Garvey and then Max Medina. Moran's first pitch is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count to Ryan Severns. Excellent play by Ryan to end the top of the second inning. Severns at 303, a homer, 11 runs batted in. Ryan takes low and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Ryan Severns incoming to the University of California, Santa Barbara. The 1-1 pitch, fastball foul back, and the count 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Zane Garvey on deck. Gavin Moran redshirting at UCSB, so a battle of future teammates here. Breaking ball chop foul past Marcus Matias, the Knights' first base coach. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Severns, leading matters off for the Knights in the bottom of the second inning. Moran to the plate, the 1-2 pitch. Ryan way out in front, pulls it foul, well beyond the upper grandstand on the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Severns. The 1-2 pitch just outside, ball 2. 2-2 to Severns. Gavin Moran rocks, kicks, and comes with a 2-2 delivery. Hit sharply past Nate Stuyvesant, who hesitated briefly before kind of falling to his left and wasn't able to secure the line drive. Well struck by Ryan Severns. A leadoff single. And Zane Garvey will be the hitter. Zane, out of the University of Portland, en route to Portland, hitting .259, no homers, 21 runs batted in. Zane now third on the club in that category, following Porter and Max Medina. A throw to first base and Ryan Severns back to the bag. Ryan is 9 for 9 in stolen base ventures. He's held on by Braden Watson. The right-hander Gavin Moran peering into his battery mate Reagan McCluskey. The pitch to Garvey, started to go and looks at a curveball outside. Ball one, 1-0. Chris Cota, the head coach for Ridgefield, 4 years in the Chicago White Sox and Angels organization. 26 years at College of the Canyons as the head coach. Nick Allen, his longtime right-hand man with the Raptors, the head coach at Ridgefield High School. Ridgefield, a tremendous addition to the league now in its 7th season. Severns hopping away from first. He doesn't go. The pitch to Zane Garvey. Fastball on the inside corner for a strike, and the count 1-1. The Cascades Amphitheater in Ridgefield has been one of the great venues in the Pacific Northwest that has hosted incredible acts, part of the wonderful fabric of the community in Ridgefield, Washington. A throw to first, Severns back to the bag. I mean, just last year, you had Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson together in Ridgefield. The 1-1 pitch, missing down and in with the fastball. Ball 2, 2-1 to Zane Garvey. Max Medina on deck. But Ridgefield has encompassed the markets of Battleground, Vancouver proper, Camas, Ridgefield. They play at the Rourke on Hillhurst Road, and it's been a tremendous success story. Really a wonderful addition in the West Coast League, and a good rivalry has developed between the Knights and Raptors. A throw to first. Ryan Severns back to the bag. No score, bottom of the 2nd inning. Out of the stretch works Gavin Moran. Curveball pulled foul. Marcus Matias plays it off his right knee. Pretty tough by the southpaw, but he kept the ball in play. Good for him. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Zane Garvey. I haven't seen the docket for the amphitheater in 26, but I would just remember contemplating going to Dylan and Willie last May and impressed by the history of acts in that amphitheater. So I'm sure they've had another great run here in the summer of 26. As have the Raptors. They're here tonight in Corvallis. The 2 teams will close the regular season in the first week in August. Next week, the pitch to Garvey misses, and the ball goes off the mitt of the catcher, Reagan McCluskey. I'm writing down pass ball. I'm not sure what Brooks is going to score it, but for me at the moment it's a PB, as in PB golf. The pitch missing up and in, ball 3, 3-2 to Zane. Coach Knight calls the base umpire Taylor Schneider over for a quick consult. About what? What about? What do you mean, what about? Well, Norman Fell, Jonathan Winters, what do you mean, what about? Well, it's a good question. What about? I don't know. The 3-2 pitch inside, ball 4. So a leadoff single for Ryan Severns. A pass ball, sending Severns to second. Ball 4 to Zane Garvey, and now Max Medina, the hitter. Coach Knight might be of a mind to bunt Max here, even though Medina, second on the club and runs batted in with 23. First and second, nobody out. Max at 299 with a homer and the 23 runs batted in. He does show bunt, and he bunts foul up along third. 0-1 the count. Max has 2 sacrifice hits on the season. The Knights have 16 as a club. And just taking a look at their counterpart tonight in Ridgefield, the Raptors with only 10 through their 45 ball games. 2 on, nobody out, no score, bottom of the 2nd. Gavin Moran to the plate. Medina is again bunted. He gets the bunt down to the left of the mound, fielded by Moran. The throw to first to Braden Watson is in time. Well done by Max Medina. And the Knights fans applauding the excellent execution of the sacrifice 1-3. Ryan Severns to third, Zane Garvey to second, Xavier Rios to the plate. Xavier at 238 with a homer and 10 runs batted in. Xavier transferring after the season to Cal State San Marcos has an opportunity to give the Knights the initial lead. Coach Cota has his infield play at normal depth. The second baseman, Jordan Marion, nearly behind the bag at second. Severns from third, Zane Garvey his lead from second. Curveball from Gavin Moran misses to Xavier Rios. Ball one, 1-0. Out of the stretch works Gavin Moran. The 1-0 pitch, pop foul off third. Nate Stuyvesant moving over. Stuyvesant backhands it right at the fence line, jutting out from the Knights dugout, angling back down the left side for out number 2. Nice play by Stuyvesant. And so it's going to take something more than an out to get a run home. Joey Morosco, the batter. Joey with his distinguished grandparents, Steve and Linda, here. Steve, I had a chance in kind of a harried schedule on yours truly's part before the game to at least shake his hand and meet Steve and Linda. The pitch on the way to Joey misses high, ball one. A true honor to meet Steve, and that Steve Zabriskie, for 30-plus years, an outstanding broadcaster at the major league level, New York television broadcaster for Major League Baseball for some 30 years, football and basketball with ESPN. And his grandson Joey trying to come through for the Knights here with Steve and Linda in the ballpark for the next several ball games. I look forward to a cup of Jamo with Steve and talking about his distinguished career and his experiences. And he said he'll join me either tomorrow or Thursday as the schedule fits. Great to have him here. Joey takes a strike, 0-1 the count. Gavin Moran ready, comes back to the plate. A ground ball back up the middle to the left of the shortstop for him. Juggles, picks it up, throws to first, too late. Everybody safe. Ryan Severns down the line to score. The Knights lead it 1-0. Joey Morosco making good contact, grounding the ball back up the middle. Orem had a chance and ranged and got to the baseball, but bobbled it from behind the bag, and it'll go as a base hit and a run batted in for Joey Morosco. 1-0 Knights, Zane Garvey to third. Diego Cruz, the hitter. I take that back. It looks as though an error is going to be charged on the play. So Brooks Hatch, again, is tough. I mean, he is a guy that when he errs on the side of giving the pitcher the benefit of the doubt. And in that case, Brooks, a longtime baseball man, perhaps even longer than Steve Zabriskie, Brooks thought that was a play that should have been made. So E6 and no RBI for Joey. Diego Cruz rolls one foul past Marcus Matias. Diego chases a strike one fastball out of the zone. And he's down in the count 0-2. Diego struck out looking somewhat controversial last inning on a pitch that it did hit him, but the home plate umpire Bryce Reeves ruled that Diego Cruz leaned into the pitch and that the pitch was a strike. First and third, 2 down, 1-0 Knights. The strike two pitch, a little pop foul off third. Nate Stuyvesant goes and grabs that one. The Knights get an unearned run on one base hit, one error, 2 left. After 2, it's the Knights 1 and Ridgefield nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome.
We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
An unearned run for the Knights. We go to the third, 1-0 Corvallis. Jack Connolly, the voice of the Raptors, kind enough to come out and correct the first base coaching alignment as we go to the third. Micah Hagler delivers to Nate Stuyvesant, first ball swinging, and that's true for the third consecutive inning for the Raptors. Stuyvesant, a ground ball to Diego Cruz, the Knights' second baseman, takes it off the field turf and throws out Nate. One away. Stuyvesant out of Redondo Union High School, played high school football for former Beaver Keith Ellison. And I look forward to maybe talking to Stuyvesant at some point a little bit about that experience. Keith, one of the great Beaver players in the mid-2000s, a great young man, and I'm sure it's the same man. I would need to confer with Coach Riley or somebody about whether indeed that is Keith out of Oregon State, and I believe it is. Ben Strutt takes the first pitch high from Micah Hagler. The 1-0 pitch, a line drive to left, right at Ethan Porter, who lost it in the sun. The ball rolls past Ethan to the base of the fence, and into second base goes Ben Strutt. The ball directly in the path of the sun, shades of Al Martino to the door of the sun. And Ethan was like Lou Piniella, in the playoff game in '78, Lou completely lost the ball, but he deked Jerry Remy, and it cost the Red Sox the pennant, as you well remember. But anyhow, Ethan Porter loses the ball in the sun here, and it goes as a double for Ben Strutt. Zach Wattis, the batter. All of that to say the first base coach is Russ Hoagland, not Nick Allen. And Jack had informed me that it was Nick coaching at first, but Nick is still here and is still the longtime right-hand man of Chris Cota, but Russ Hoagland also works at College of the Canyons with Chris. The 1-0 pitch missing down and in to Zach Wattis, ball two. Zach, first ball swinging, grounded out to shortstop Joey Morosco to open the game. Ben Strutt getting a break. He hit it well. That's to his credit, but gets a bit of a gift double with Ethan losing the ball in the sun. Ben Strutt out of College of the Canyons, transferring there from Santa Barbara City College, but sort of now in the portal out of Horizon High School in the Valley of the Sun. Ben Strutt at second. Zach Wattis has worked the count to 3-0. Micah Hagler to the plate to Zach, who takes a strike. 3-1 the count. Wattis also out of the Valley of the Sun, Chandler, Arizona. Hamilton High School after beginning at Brophy College Prep. Played also at Central Arizona Junior College. He swings, and it's a high pop fly on the left side. Joey Morosco going out. Ethan Porter ranging to his left. Ethan with a bit more of a pleasurable experience here. The ball not directly in the path of the sun, able to stay with it and make the catch. 2 down. And Jordan Marion will be the hitter. Jordan out of J. Sarah Catholic High School and played this past spring for Coach Checketts at the University of California, Santa Barbara. Played in 9 games, had a big game against Portland early in the year, going 1 for 4 with a double and a run batted in against the Pilots. Jordan Marion, left-handed hitter, awaits Micah Hagler. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. 1-0 Knights, top of the third inning. Ben Strutt at second base. A very fast runner with 2 outs will be going on contact, representing the tying run. The strike one pitch down and away to Jordan. 1 ball and 1 strike the count, and Jordan Marion, a young man after my own heart, in that one of his hobbies listed on his bio, and he's certainly a happy young man, this being the case. Body surfing. Micah Hagler comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball grounded back at first. Big hop for Maverick Russell, who fields it. He too from the Southlands, probably body surfed here and there. Takes it to the bag himself. I'm happy for all of them. Down go the Ridgefield Raptors in the third. A Sun double for Ben Strutt. He remains stranded at second, and at the end of 2.5, the Knights won and the Raptors nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Nothing Knights as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Maverick Russell will lead things off for the Knights. Maverick will be followed by Ethan Porter and then Dakota Chun. Gavin Moran to the plate. Maverick a bunt down to the left of the mound. A backhand stab by Moran, then his throw is wide of first, and Maverick Russell is aboard. And a decision again now for Brooks Hatch in the McGrath family press box as to whether to go hit or error. Moran came off the mound and was in position to make a play. And it's going to go as an error. You got to earn your base hits when Brooks Hatch is the official scorer. A good idea putting pressure on the defense for Ridgefield. Gavin Moran charged with the error. Ethan Porter, the batter. Gavin's first pitch is a fastball outside, ball one, 1-0. Maverick Russell getting the bunt down with the Knights, having won their last 2 series, trying to get the jump on Ridgefield in this one and continue the drive to postseason play. Curveball in the turf. Reagan McCluskey keeps it close enough to hold Russell at first. 2 balls and no strikes. Maverick, by the way, making his 15th start, hitting .250 with 13 runs batted in, 2 for 2 and stolen bases, held on by Braden Watson. Moran turns and throws over to first, and Maverick back to the bag. Ethan Porter, a base hit to center field in the first inning. We're in the bottom of the third. 1-0 Knights, the run unearned. Moran from the stretch out of a little sliver of sun delivers high and inside to Ethan. Ball 3, pardon me. 3-0 to Ethan. A time passage. Apologies to Al Stewart. 3 balls and no strikes. The 3-0 pitch is low and inside, ball 4. Such is life that several balls came and went. I was like Sadak in search of the waters of oblivion. And time called. Chad Cota on his way out to the mound for a conversation with Gavin Moran. A 4-pitch walk to Ethan Porter. Maverick Russell down to second. Ethan Porter to first. Dakota Chun, the batter. Dakota grounded out in his first at-bat, but he's been a hot hitter. And I wonder now about the bunt possibly being in order. It was last inning. Max Medina with 2 on and nobody out got the bunt down, and it ended up playing a role in the Knights picking up an unearned run. Dakota, the cleanup hitter. Brooke Knight and Dakota Chun get together after Coach Cota's visit. Dakota at .393 in his hot start offensively. So we'll see what Brooke wants to do here. Does he take the bat out of his hand or turn Dakota loose? With 2 on, nobody out, bottom of the third, 1-0 Knights. Moran out of the stretch, and Dakota shows bunt. Pulls the bat back and takes high and away, ball 1, 1-0. And right now, speaking of Bill Oram, no relation to Hayden, but Bill, the fine columnist for the Oregonian, longtime columnist and friend and sports writer Dwight James is cringing somewhere. Dakota gets the bunt down, dropped by the catcher, and the throw to first is not in time. McCluskey got a little confused, and again, the bunt puts pressure on the defense. McCluskey, the catcher, pounced on the ball, but his attention divided, thought he might have a play at third on Russell. But while kind of considering that, he didn't get job 1 done, which was pick up the baseball cleanly. And after bobbling the ball on the bunt by Dakota Chun, he ends up getting nobody. It'll be an error on the catcher McCluskey, a sacrifice for Dakota Chun, but Dakota at first on the error by Reagan McCluskey. So give Dakota his first sacrifice of the summer. The third error of the night on the Raptors. Bases loaded, nobody out for the Knights. Maverick Russell at third, Ethan Porter at second, Dakota Chun at first, Ryan Severns takes low. The 1-0 pitch, a looping fly to left. Josh Proctor's lost it in the sun. In comes Maverick Russell to score, and the Knights lead it 2-0 on a base hit. The second sun ball of the night. Ryan Severns is 2 for 2, and that's baseball for you. The last ball that Severns hit, he hit much harder. And it was a tougher play, I thought, for Proctor than this one. A line drive in the path of the sun in the first inning. Here, a looper that Josh lost completely. So a couple of Oregon State outfielders, erstwhile outfielders, Proctor and Porter, both struggling to play sun balls in left. And the Knights with a 2-0 lead, an RBI single for Severns. Russell coming in to score with Ethan Porter at third, Dakota Chun at second. Ryan Severns 2 for 2 at first. Garvey waves at an off-speed pitch and doesn't get it. The 0-1 pitch to Zane, hooked foul above the Raptors dugout on the first base side. The count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. 2-0 Knights, bottom of the third. Coach Cota, even down 2 runs, has his infield playing at double play depth up the middle. Nobody out in the inning. Garvey swings a ground ball to first. Braden Watson will go to the plate for 1, and that's the only play. But a good play by the first baseman, Braden Watson. Garvey aboard on the fielder's choice. 3-2. 1 away with Ethan Porter out at the plate. The bases remain loaded. Max Medina, the batter. Max sacrificed last inning to help set up an unearned run for the Knights. 2-0 Knights here in the third. Bases full and 1 out. Medina takes inside. Ball dropped by catcher Reagan McCluskey. 1 ball and no strikes. Dakota Chun at third. Ryan Severns at second. Zane Garvey at first. The 1-0 pitch Breaking ball up. Ball 2. 2-0 to Max Medina. Again, the infielders at double play depth up the middle for Ridgefield. The 2-0 pitch on the way. A chopper fielded by the pitcher, Moran, goes to second for one. The throw to first is not in time. Good play by Moran getting the ball to Orem. Orem came across the bag aggressively, threw to first. Medina with good speed beats the relay, gets the run batted in on the fielder's choice, 1-6. 2 down. Dakota Chun coming down the line to score. 3-0 Knights. Runners at the corners and 2 outs for Xavier Rios. Xavier fouled out last inning. Gavin Moran from the stretch. The pitch to Xavier. A line drive into left center field. It'll drop for a base hit. Severn's down the line to score. Stopping at second base is Max Medina. An RBI single for Xavier Rios. The Knights lead it 4-0. Joey Morosco to the plate. Nicely done by the Knights here. Ridgefield playing, of course, with house money the entire second half. They're already in the postseason. Got off to a dreadful start in the second half. The first pitch swung on and missed by Joey, 0-1 the count. Losing their first 9 games in second half play. But they're in, and they have home field advantage. So the urgency perhaps not at the same level as that of the Corvallis Knights, who are still trying to make sure they're not going to miss out on the postseason for the first time in franchise history. Curveball in the turf, and the count 1-1. Joey aboard on an error last inning, 1 of 3. Now, I see Ridgefield now has 2 errors, so it's possible that Brook Knight has made a scoring change. I will confer between innings. The 1-1 pitch, fastball up and in, ball 2, 2-1. It is wonderful to be outdoors adjacent to the McGrath family press box. Not so much on a night like this. It can get pretty warm and uncomfortable and stuffy in there with no open window. Out here in the summers, it's been glorious. The pitch is fouled on top of the McGrath family press box roof and down into the entryway of Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. 2-2 to Joey Morosco. 3 runs in the inning. But the ability to communicate is lessened with the personnel within the press box. I'll give Brooksy a call between innings and see which error he might have changed. First and second, 2 down. The 2-2 pitch swung on, foul tipped and held. The inning is over. But the Knights do an excellent job here in the 3rd inning. They add to the lead. They score 3. They leave 2. And at the end of 3, the Knights 4 and Ridgefield nothing. Back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Through 3 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Corvallis Knights 4 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. Ridgefield no runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. Have not quite been able to ascertain which error was changed to a hit. Still working on that. As we go to the 4th, I'm going to grab the quick call from Brooks and find out. So which one changed to a hit? Okay, there were 3 errors at one point up on the board. The Maverick Russell play? Okay. Okay, thank you. So Maverick Russell did get a base hit on his bunt. Severns and Rios also hit. So Maverick Russell's bunt was a hit, needing to confer with Brooksy. And so there was a miscommunication, and up on the scoreboard went error. The pitch on the way, missing down and away, ball 2, 2-1 to Proctor. Josh grounded to short in the first. Micah Hagler has gone all the way and looked good. The right-hander out of Seattle U delivers, and Proctor with a nice swing, an inside-out cut. Rolls one into right field, base hit. Zane Garvey collects and gets the baseball back in here in the 4th. 4-0 Knights. Proctor with a kind of swing that Mitch Canham and Ryan Gibson of the Oregon State staff, head coach, hitting coach, respectively, have said that when Josh is doing that, then he is really fulfilling himself as a hitter, going the other way, using the whole field. And Proctor gets a leadoff single, poking one through the 4-hole. Braden Watson, the batter. Braden, an infield single in the first, takes a strike. 0-1 the count. 4-0 Knights in the 4th. Micah Hagler and Xavier Rios, the battery. Maverick Russell at first. Diego Cruz at second. Joey Morosco at short. Ryan Severns at third. Micah's breaking ball misses down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Aaron Lewis on deck. Good crowd on this Teachers and School Employees Night. Hagler delivers and misses down and in with a fastball. 2-1 the count. Micah has done a good job in the control department. Now, the sample size is small. Micah comes set. Proctor held on at first. A broken back ground ball slowly to Diego Cruz. He shovels to second for 1 and on to first for the double play. Cruz to Morosco to Maverick Russell, a 4-6-3 double play, 2 down. Nice play on the part of Diego, getting the ball quickly on the flip to Morosco, and Joey a strong throw to first. 2 outs and nobody on. Aaron Lewis, the batter. Micah Hagler now 7 2/3 without issuing a free pass. And the first pitch to Aaron Lewis, breaking ball foul back. 0-1 the count. Lewis hit the ball hard right at Max Medina in the second inning out in center. Micah back to the plate. Fastball just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Micah and Rios, the battery. Maverick Russell at first. Diego at second. Joey Morosco at short. Ryan Severns at third with Ethan Porter in left. Max Medina in center. Zane Garvey in right. Fanned out straight away. Porter holding his hand cap high, trying to shield the sun. He was burned by it last inning. A very good film, by the way. If you ever get a chance to see a film entitled, speaking of burned by the sun, it's entitled Burnt by the Sun. Beautiful story. The pitch to Lewis, in there for a strike. 1-2 the count. 2 down, nobody on. Curveball outside. Ball 2, 2-2. Not sure. It's a foreign film. I know it's subtitled. I don't remember the nation of origin. All I know is it tells a story beautifully of a man's last day during the collective, the period in the Soviet Union of the collective era in the 1930s. And a day in the life of a man, what turns out to be, spoiler alert, his last day before a car comes for Colonel Kotov or something to that effect. But if you want to see the human experience in a day beautifully portrayed, check out Burnt by the Sun. The 2-2 pitch fouled back by Aaron Lewis. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 down, nobody on in the fourth. 4-0, Corvallis. Micah ready, the right-hander's 3-2 pitch. Curveball just outside. His first walk of the summer. I knew just even by bringing it up. So it's all on me, Micah, I'm sorry. And Micah takes the baseball, walks away, shaking his head. He thought he had thrown a curveball for a strike. I don't think he's mad at himself. I think he's a little frustrated by the call. It didn't miss by much if it did miss. Aaron Lewis draws the 2-out walk. Braden Orem, the batter. Braden struck out in the second. Hagler's first walk of the summer delivers a breaking ball. Strike here. Now, if he calls the last one in the same spot to the left-handed hitter, it ain't over. So I'm not sure why things changed. 0-1 the count to Braden Orem. Hagler from the stretch. The 0-1 delivery, fastball just inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Let me see if I can engage just one time to see how it feels in the modern parlance of broadcasters. The 1-1. In there for a strike at 86. And the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 4-0 Knights in the fourth. Out of the stretch works Micah Hagler. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball down, ball 2. 2-2. It is a stylistic choice. I look forward to talking to Steve Zabriskie, one of the best to do it for 30 years at the major league level. A great run with the New York Mets in the 80s as their TV voice, working with Tim McCarver. Steve Zabriskie in the house tonight. 2-2 pitch, a 2-hopper to third. Severns backs up, plays the second hop, and throws a strike across the diamond to get Braden Orem. But we do live in an era now where, again, things change, and you wonder how they get life, and we'll talk about it in a moment with a new pitcher coming in for Ridgefield. We'll take a 2-minute pitching change break. In the NBA, in it's every announcer now says 6 to shoot, 8 to shoot, 3 to shoot, 5 to shoot, 10 to shoot. That wasn't something I grew up with. Nor did I grow up with the 2-2, the 1-1, the 0-2, the 3-2. So things change. Doesn't mean it's any better or worse, but they do change. 4-0 Knights as we go to the fourth. Back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
Leading off the bottom of the fourth inning, hitting for the Knights from Oregon State University, second baseman, number 11, Diego Cruz.
Bottom of the fourth inning, 4-0 Knights. Shane Johnson into the ballgame for the Ridgefield Raptors. Jumps ahead of Diego Cruz. Diego swinging and missing the first pitch. The strike one pitch, called strike two. Left on left, fastball pretty firm from Shane Johnson. Getting ready for his sophomore year at Oregon. 1-0 down the road this year in 6 appearances out of Lake Washington High in Kirkland. Delivers to Diego, who swings and hits one foul off third into the Jack Riley concourse. Bingo card, ball rolling down into the stands. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Diego Cruz. 4-0 Knights in the fourth. Diego, Maverick Russell, and Ethan Porter. Top of the order against Shane Johnson. The left-hander to the plate. Fastball hit foul. And into the grandstand just below the McGrath family press box. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Diego. In a look at a future Civil War type battle here. Shane Johnson at Oregon, Diego Cruz, Oregon State bound. Diego gets a piece of the breaking ball to hang in there. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. And, you know, just speaking of styles and the way people go about the craft and how things change. The pitch on the way to Diego, a ground ball back at first, grabbed by Braden Watson, juggled by Braden Watson. The toss to first is in time to get Diego Cruz. Now, I'm not sure if Diego was busting it down the line. He appeared to hit the ball right at Watson. It looked like it was going to be an easy play. And maybe Diego felt that as well. And Watson was able to drop the ball, recover, and get Diego out. 1 away, and Maverick Russell, the batter. Maverick has flied to left and had a bunt single that was originally, we thought, scored an error, but Brooks Hatch had that as a hit all the way last inning. Maverick takes low and away from Shane Johnson, another left-on-left matchup. 1-0 the count. So originally on the board, it flashed E. Later, that error was taken down, but Brooks said in his mind it was a hit all the way. The 1-0 fastball from Shane Johnson misses outside, ball 2, 2-0. Congratulations to a good friend through the years in the business, Elise Woodward, the new voice on the radio for the Washington Huskies football team. The 2-0 pitch, a strike, and the count 2-1. Elise went to North Eugene High School and has been a friend to so many in the broadcast business on the Pac-12 networks and through the years with volleyball and basketball, and just a tremendous person. And I didn't know that she even had an interest in doing radio football play-by-play, but I read in the Seattle Times today that she's the new voice replacing Tony Castricone, but said that she grew up listening to the great Bob Rondo, and so good for Elise Woodward. Congratulations to her. The 3-1 pitch, fastball just inside to Maverick Russell. Ball 4. Ethan Porter will come to the plate. Ethan is singled to center and walked. And the things that I refer to are very minor in scope. I mean, so what if a lot of announcers say 10 to shoot or the 2-2? It doesn't really matter. But I guess those of us who are in the business notice such things and just sort of how they rise up and they become popular and common in usage. The pitch to Porter, a strike, 0-1 the count, 4-0 Knights, bottom of the fourth. Shane Johnson from the stretch. The left-hander kicks and comes to the plate. Fastball, a strike on the inside corner. Johnson's got a live arm. I like it. 0-2 the count. He has touched 91 according to the radar gun. The fastball appears to have life. The 0-2 pitch on the way, fastball with life. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 2 down. Feel like going Burl Ives, and yes, there is life in that fastball. Yes. Burrow's pretty good as Big Daddy, and that's a terrible Big Daddy in Tennessee Williams Cat on a Hot Tin. There is life in that. Elizabeth Taylor, Maggie the Cat, sired by Maggie the Cat. Man, it's great literature and acting in the film. There is life in that fastball. There goes Maverick Russell. The pitch is high. The throw to second, not in time. Good slide by Maverick Russell. And he's in with a stolen base. And with that stolen base, a $50 contribution, $25 from Papay Material Handling, and $25 from the Knights to Community Outreach, Inc. for every Knights successful stolen base in the summer of 26. And if the Knights win, that stolen base figure is doubled. The Knights lead 4-0 in the fourth. Russell in scoring position with 2 down. Dakota Chun swings and fouls one back. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. 4-0 Knights, bottom of the fourth. Shane Johnson working on Dakota Chun, starting the night at .393. Swings and hits one wide of third. Fielded by Nate Stuyvesant. And Nate, the third baseman, throws out Chun to retire the side. No runs, no hits, a man left. We go to the fifth. Micah Hagler, a shutout through 4. Heads back to the bump. 4-0 Knights after 4, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
And on third base, we have Colette. On first base, we have Ryan. We know the rules. We've got to run to second base.
No matter what team you're on, no matter where you explore, there's a Richardson for you. We don't just give you our word. We give you our name. We started over 50 years ago as a hometown sporting goods business, with a particular devotion to America's pastime. As we grew, so did demand for our products, both on and off the field of play. Today we serve teams, brands, and businesses, and we've earned our reputation as the best. We did it through our devotion to our craft and our customers. We've built our business on the spirit of competition and the thrill of adventure, with a relentless focus on details and an enduring commitment to quality in every stitch. We've set a high bar for ourselves because you've made our team part of your team. And your team deserves the best.
It is also season ticket holder Christy's birthday. Happy birthday to you, Christy. Thanks to all of you for celebrating your birthday and special day here at Golf Stadium with the Knights.
For the fifth inning, the Knights leading Ridgefield 4-0. Micah Hagler ready to go to Reagan McCluskey. Reagan grounded to third in his first at-bat. And again, first ball swinging. That seems to be an approach. I don't know if it's just coincidental. I do not have all the data in front of me, and that's another mark of the modern-day broadcast. All of the analytics information that's available. And I'm sure the outstanding broadcasters at the major league level and elsewhere with all that data to work with have to make decisions about how much of it makes the presentation, so to speak. But I'm sure there's a number somewhere about, well, Ridgefield swings at first pitches in innings so-and-so % of the time, but they've swung at every first pitch of this ball game in the beginning of an inning. A ground ball wide of third, off the glove of the diving Ryan Severns, deflecting into left field for a base hit for Reagan McCluskey to open the top of the fifth inning. And Nate Stuyvesant, who grounded out on the first pitch that he saw in the third, will come to the plate. So I don't know if if it's just coincidental or an approach that Coach Coder preaches, because we've seen the Raptors hitters come to the plate and go after first pitches to open every inning of this ball game. Now, I'm just talking about the leadoff hitter in each frame. Nate Stuyvesant here takes a strike, 0-1 the count, but Nate led off the third inning, grounding out on the first pitch that he saw. Fastball fouled back, and the count 0-2, and we have a curious development here that I've got to take a look at. Tate Hammond is now at second base. And I think it's possible. I mean, again, I hope Diego Cruz is okay, that he didn't tweak something or pull a muscle running out a ground ball. So I'm going to have to wait to find out and won't speculate much further. But I think you heard what I said about Diego running down the line on the ground ball to open the bottom of the fourth. 1 ball and 2 strikes, meanwhile, to Nate Stuyvesant. Hagler to the plate and just misses for ball 2, 2-2. But whatever the reasoning, Tate Hammond is now at second base here in the fifth. Diego Cruz no longer out there. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Stuyvesant. Fastball swung on and fouled back. The count remains 2-2. So I hope I'm a bit ambivalent about taking it any further. I hope that Diego's okay physically. But I also wonder if there's any other reason for the change defensively. The 2-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Off-speed delivery, well done by Micah Hagler for the strikeout of Stuyvesant, and Ben Strutt, who doubled into the path of the sun in the third inning, coming to the plate now here in the fifth. The sun no longer an issue. We see a patch of bright sunlight left from the alley in left center to dead center field, but that's about it. Right now, Knights left fielder Ethan Porter in the comfortable shadows out in left, with Strutt stepping in. First pitch fastball in there for a strike. The count 0-1. Tate Hammond now at second base, and it looks like just a 1-for-1. Joey Morosco still at short, Ryan Severns at third, but Diego Cruz no longer in at second. The strike one breaking ball dropped by Xavier Rios. The pitch called ball 1. Xavier not catching the ball cleanly and not able to frame it for the home plate umpire Bryce Reeves. 1 ball and 1 strike to Strutt. Ben looking for a landing spot, I'm told, in the portal. Takes low, ball 2, 2-1. A leadoff single for Reagan McCluskey. He's held on by Maverick Russell. Top of the fifth inning, 4-0 Knights. Fastball lifted foul above the Omaha room and down into that area between the Omaha room, the upper grandstand on the right, and in front of Dixon Recreation Center. Two balls and 1 strike to Ben Strutt. Hagler's breaking ball looped into left center field for a base hit. Max Medina gets the baseball back in. Nice piece of hitting by Strutt, who's 2 for 2. Stopping at second base, Reagan McCluskey. Zach Wattis will be the hitter. Strutt has had a good summer, starting this ball game at .341 and is 2 for 2 tonight. Zach Wattis has grounded to short, swinging at the game's first pitch, and flied to left field in the third. Micah asks Xavier Rios to go through the sequence of pitches again. Now Micah to the plate, breaking ball in the turf. Ball 1, 1-0. Two on, one out. Ridgefield trying to cut into the Knights' lead, and they will, it appears. Whacked into right field, base hit. Reagan McCluskey rounding third on his way to the plate. The throw cut off by Maverick Russell. McCluskey scores a solid base hit to right field for Zach Wattis, and also going from first to third on the play, Ben Strutt. Now the Knights 4 and Ridgefield 1. But the game has a real chance of tightening up considerably here in the fifth. Jordan Marion, the batter. Well struck by Zach Wattis, the leadoff hitter, and a really good hitter. In fact, the best of the summer for the Ridgefield Raptors. He is starting his 41st game of the 45 played by Ridgefield. 6 homers, 32 runs batted in. Wattis goes. The Knights throw through. Holding at third base is Ben Strutt, but Wattis picks up the stolen base. Zach has done plenty of that, too. He's now 18 for 21 on the season in stolen bases. Zach is tied for the team lead in homers with 6. And that run batted in his 32nd, second only to J.T. Summers. The pitch on the way, missing for ball 2, 2-0 to Jordan Marion. 4-1 Knights, but the Raptors with runners at second and third and 1 out. The Knights play their infield at normal depth. Hagler delivers, and a ground ball to the right of Hammond. A diving stop there to save a run. Nice play by Tate. Coming down the line, though, to score is Ben Strutt. Into third base goes Wattis. An RBI single for Jordan Marion. Now the Knights 4 and the Raptors 2. The diving stab by Hammond kept it from turning into a 1-run ball game, so a good play by Zach. However, the Raptors still in great shape here. First and third with 1 out. Josh Proctor coming to the plate. And Bo Kearns on his way out to the mound. So a big opportunity here for the Raptors. They began the frame down 4-0. And they've cut it to 4-2 and have a big stick at the plate in Proctor. Josh summered with the Corvallis Knights here last year. Big kid, and showed a lot of pop during the course of his season with the Oregon State Beavers and also with the Knights here last summer. 6'5", 235-pounder. Last June 11th here, announced his presence with authority, I dare say, with a grand slam homer and a 3-run homer in his first game ever in this ballpark. As I said, tough to top that. 8 RBIs in the Knights home opener last year. Really good ball player and has a chance now to get the Raptors closer. First and third, 1 out. Josh singled to right in his first at-bat. Takes a breaking ball outside, ball 1. In his second at-bat, I should say, after grounding to short in the first. 4-2 Knights. Runners at the corners, 1 out, top of the fifth. The 1-0 pitch, Josh swings and lifts it foul off to the right and out of play. 1-1 the count. Good crowd tonight on this $20 Tuesday. The calling it Tuesday, spelled T-W-O-S-D-A-Y. 2 tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 beverages, all of that for a very affordable $20. A throw to first base and back to the bag dives Jordan Marion. Tomorrow night will be Pioneer Collect Salute to Service night. free admission for all veterans tomorrow night. 1 ball, 1 strike, first and third, 1 out. Proctor takes down and away, ball 2, 2-1. The very team that the Knights are playing fit into that spirit of the promotion tomorrow night. The Ridgefield Raptors, the town of Ridgefield, named originally Union Ridge, so named by the settling in that area by many veterans, Union veterans from the Civil War. And they made their way to Southwest Washington in the original name of Ridgefield, Union Ridge, in honor of those Union veterans. Now Ridgefield. Proctor fouls one back, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out, 4-2 Knights in the 5th. The 2-2 breaking ball, strike 3 call. Proctor can't believe it. He turns with a bit of a grin of incredulity on his face, and the big man goes walking slowly back to his dugout on the first base side, kind of chalking it up as if to say, well, that's not on me. And down he goes, looking at a called third. A derisive smile, not an oxymoron, because I remember seeing a former basketball coach in the 70s down the road at Oregon. We used to refer to the harder smile, when after a bad call he would just put on that kind of Joker-like grin at the offending official. And that's kind of what Josh seemed to be engaged in there as he walked back to the dugout, although he's a good-natured kid. No harshness really in it. Braden Watson takes a strike, 0-1 the count. The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball away, and the count 1-1. 4-2 Knights, bottom of the 4th. That's a big strikeout of a tough hitter by Micah Hagler, and trying to keep the lead at 2 with Zach Wattis at third, Jordan Marion at first. The 1-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. 1-2 to Braden Watson. An infield single, first ball swinging in the second, grounded into a double play in his last at-bat. Ridgefield has cut the lead in half in the inning. Hagler trying to make sure that's all they get done. 1-2 the count with 2 on and 2 down, delivers. And the off-speed is fouled straight back. Watson stays alive. 1-2 the count, Aaron Lewis on deck. Zach Wattis at third, Jordan Marion at first, 2 down. Micah Hagler ready. The 1-2 pitch, good block on a pitch in the turf by Xavier Rios. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hagler reading his battery mate Xavier Rios. Xavier down on his right knee. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. Fastball lifted foul over the Omaha room and out of play. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 to Braden Watson. Right-handed hitter awaiting. Micah Hagler trying to keep the lead at 2. Delivers and does. Breaking ball swung out and missed. Strike 3 to end the inning. After giving up 2 runs and certainly susceptible to even more, it appeared with first and third and 1 out. Hagler responds by striking out the 3 and 4 hole hitters for Ridgefield, and the Knights' lead is 2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. After 4.5, the Knights 4, Ridgefield 2, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Four to 2 Knights as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Ryan Severn, Zane Garvey, and Max Medina, the scheduled hitters for the Knights against Ridgefield left-hander Shane Johnson. Shane to the plate, fastball fouled into Urchin Alley on the bingo card, mark it down, but there it is, and the Urchins give chase. No balls and 1 strike. Johnson rocks, kicks, and comes back with the 0-1 fastball up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Shane Johnson following Gavin Moran. The lefty delivers, breaking ball down and in. 2 balls and a strike to Ryan, who is 2 for 2 and has scored 2 runs. Has a run batted in as well. Good night for Ryan thus far. The 2-1 pitch, Severn backs away from a fastball inside, ball 3. Zane Garvey waiting his turn, the left-handed hitter. 3-1 to Ryan Severn. Shane Johnson to the plate, fastball in there for a strike. Took a little off, and the count goes full to 3-2. The 3-2 pitch from Shane, fouled into the netting, straight back of the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. .635 again tomorrow night, 6:35 here on Thursday. Go Beavs night. Severns rips 1 foul into the Jack Riley concourse. Several people queued up down there, down the line, and were not watching at all. The line drive landed on the concourse, on the concrete, bounced back onto the field. 3 or 4 people down there had no idea what just took place. Happy oblivion. 3-2 to Severns. Off speed, pulled foul into the trees near Waldo Hall. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Severns. Johnson's 3-2 pitch, off speed, swung on and missed. 1 away, and the batter will be Zane Garvey. Left on left here with Garvey facing Shane Johnson for the first time. Zane has walked and bounced into a fielder's choice, 3-2. Johnson kicks and comes to the plate. Fastball on the inside corner. 0-1 the count. Just judging by Johnson's stylings here, the 0-1 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 0-2. I think this kid's going to be all right. He did pitch for Oregon, which had a really good season this past year, hosting a regional. Johnson out of Lake Washington High School in Kirkland. Strike 2 pitch, swung on and missed. And he just looks the part. Back-to-back strikeouts. 3 of the last 4 hitters he's punched out since coming on for Gavin Moran. 2 down, nobody on. Max Medina, the batter. Only worked 4 1/3 for Oregon this past spring, but he'll get more, I would dare say, next spring. He looks sharp. I like his look. Max Medina has sacrificed and had an RBI fielder's choice. He swings at the first pitch and dunks it into shallow center field, base hit. Ben Strutt plays the baseball on one hop. A 2-out single for Medina. Xavier Rios will be the hitter. Johnson, strongly built, big-legged left-handed pitcher, 5'9", 195. Rios has fouled out and had an RBI single to left. No sunshine at all now at 12 minutes after 8 o'clock. Everything bathed now in the twilight time here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. These last few mornings, it has felt as we play ball tonight on the 28th of July. There's almost been that little bit, you can feel it. I still know we've got some hot days coming in the summer, but football just around the corner. The pitch on the way to Xavier misses for ball one. Jamarcus Shepard in his new era will begin fall camp, as they call it, even though well before fall actually hits. But August 5th will be the first practice date for the Jamarcus Shepard era with the Beavers. A throw to first base. Back to the bag steps Max Medina. And it just felt a little, some of these days here in this odd summer we've had, have almost smelled of football in the mornings of late. The 1-0 pitch, Rios swings and doesn't get it, and the count 1-1. But still plenty of baseball left here in the summer of 28. 9 games beginning with this one, beginning with tonight's sit here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. The 1-1 fastball, very high, and flagged nicely by catcher Reagan McCluskey. 2 balls and a strike. Medina, a good runner, but the left-hander Johnson staring him down. Max being held on by Braden Watson. The 2-1 pitch, very high again. Ball 3, 3-1 to Xavier. Joey Morosco on deck. Shane Johnson with a lively left arm, making just his 6th appearance this summer with Ridgefield. Delivers to Xavier, who fouls one straight back and out of play. 9 1/3 coming in for Shane. 9 hits, 7 earned runs, 13 strikeouts in his 9 1/3 with only 4 walks. So the stuff has been overpowering enough to have the 13 punch-outs coming in. He has 3 here in 2 2/3 tonight. Medina ready to go on the 3-2 pitch. He does, and it's taken, strike 3 called. And the left-hander Shane Johnson strikes out the side. I'll remember that kid when the 2 programs connect in the spring, that's for sure. He strikes out the side. The Knights are gone in the 5th. The new pitcher coming in for the Knights. As we go to the 6th, Micah Hagler hanging around, has a chance to get a win, but it's in the bullpen's hands the rest of the way. Coming in for the Knights will be Jack Galanita. As we go to the 6th, the Knights 4 and Ridgefield 2 back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local and for flying EUG.
designated hitter number 35, Aaron Lewis.
Alameda gets the baseball as we go to the 6th inning at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. 4-2 Knights. Aaron Lewis, Braden Orem, and Reagan McCluskey, the scheduled hitters against Jack Galanita. First pitch fastball grounded back at first, foul. No balls and 1 strike to Aaron Lewis, who has lined out to center and walked. Brooks Hatch is on his way up the steps with a report. I want reports. And he is always kind enough to provide them, as was Peter Riegert to Bert in Local Hero. I want reports. The strike 1 pitch foul back, and he got him too. And they had to shut down that refinery caper as a result. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Aaron Lewis facing Jack Galanita to lead matters off here in the 6th, with the Knights leading 4-2. Jack works out of the stretch, then rocks and delivers in the strike 2 pitch. Foul back, it remains 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Galanita delivers, fastball foul back again. Nice job by Aaron Lewis. He's battling. No balls and 2 strikes. Lewis, Braden Orem, and Reagan McCluskey. The report that Brooks has brought shows Brooks Lee, the great Corvallis Knight from 2019 here, going 1 for 3 and scoring a run in the Twins' 3-2 victory over Kansas City tonight. The strike 2 pitch bounces in the count 1-2 from Galanita. Trevor Lornick, who is not a West Coast League alumnus, but a former Beaver, went 0 for 2. The Angels in Houston are tied at 2 in the top of the 6th. Wade Meckler 0 for 3 for the Angels. Galanita delivers, and another fastball foul back. 1-2 to Aaron Lewis, really battling here. Jack Galanita taking over for Knight starter Micah Hagler. The ball game in the hands of the bullpen now as the Knights try to keep their playoff push going here in the stretch run of the second half. The 1-2 pitch from Jack, fastball swung out and missed. Strike 3. Galanita wins the battle. 1 away in the top of the 6th, and Braden Orem will be the batter for Ridgefield.
Shortstop number 4, Braden Orem.
Galanita is making his 18th appearance of the summer. That's tops on the Knight squad. A record of 3-0, an ERA of 3.90, 32 1/3, 38 hits coming in, only 8 walks, 23 strikeouts. The first pitch to Braden misses low, ball 1. Braden has struck out and grounded to third. The pitch on the way, a 1-hopper. Nicely played by Tate Hammond. Tate throws to first, and Braden Orem retired. 0 for 3 on the night for Braden. Reagan McCluskey coming up. I queried Brooks Hatch within the McGrath family press box, walking out here with the report, and he thinks Hammond's presence at second base is, I'll just leave it at the illusion that I made as to a possible reason that Tate was installed at second. And I guess I'm just saying, on a certain level, I'm glad that Brooks doesn't think, nor does anyone in the press box think, that it was because of a tweak or a pull, but there may have been another reason for Brooke Knight to make the change. And Brooks cited a guy I'm about to mention, Travis Bazzana, who went 1 for 2 tonight. And 1 for 4. I don't know if they had a double header. It looks like they may have had a double header. Quanti 1 for 5 and 0 for 3. Bazzana 1 for 2 and 1 for 4. But Brooks remembers a game when Travis left a game mid-game for perhaps a similar reason. 1-1 the count to Reagan McCluskey. 4-2 Knights, top of the 6th, 2 outs, nobody on. Breaking ball from Galanita in there for a strike. Good pitch. The count 1-2 to Reagan. Michael Conforto in his ball game today went 2 for 4 with a run scored. So thank you, Brooks Hatch, for that. Galanita looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Delivers, ground ball to third. Charged by Ryan Severns. Fields cleanly and throws to first. And Jack gets his 1-2-3 frame in the 6th, winning a good battle with Aaron Lewis to start the frame. We go to the bottom of the 6th, the Knights 4, Ridgefield 2, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Playing the most rock in the valley. Text your song request anytime to 541-9261.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
At Eugene Airport, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our community for choosing us to connect you to many destinations, other cultures, your families, and friends. Thank you to our dedicated and professional staff for ensuring the airport experience is excellent. And thank you to local residents and businesses for making us who we are. We are proud to serve you, our region, and beyond. Together, we continue to grow and thrive. Thank you for flying local.
Joey Morosco will lead things off. The pride of Livermore, California, has grandparents up from the Bay Area, as we mentioned, the Zabriskis, Steve and Linda. Steve will join me at some point in the next couple of nights to talk about his long experiences in the major leagues as a broadcaster, and particularly the years I want to hear from him about what it was like to cover those New York Mets teams in the 80s with those amazing characters and that 86 championship team. He was the television voice, I believe, 83 through 89 for the New York Mets. So he saw some things. Joey Morosco takes inside, ball 1 from the new pitcher, Ryan McCluskey. The 1-0 fastball from the big right-hander misses high and inside, ball 2. McCluskey, 6 foot, 235-pounder. McCluskey peering into his battery mate, Reagan McCluskey. McCluskey to McCluskey delivers a strike, and the count 2-1. McCluskey out of the Hammer country. Jack Coletto, Camas, a papermaker, Camas High School, Lower Columbia College to Northwestern Oklahoma State. Morosco grounds one back up the middle into center field, base hit. Joey had an RBI back in the 2nd, gets a base hit here, and Tate Hammond will get his first at-bat. Diego Cruz had started, had struck out, popped out, and grounded out. And I mentioned on the ground out to first that I wondered about whether there was a busting down the line out of the box on Diego's part. And again, I don't know 100% for sure why Tate Hammond went into the game at second base in the ensuing defensive inning, but I have my guesses. And it got me thinking about a moment with Kirby Puckett, Ken Griffey Jr. at the Kingdome many years ago. The pitch bunted by Tate Hammond up along third, foul. 0-1 the count. 4-2 Knights, bottom of the sixth. Fastball just outside. A little flinch on the part of Bryce Reeves, does not raise the right arm. 1-1 the count. Tate Hammond's first at bat of the night. It comes here in the sixth. There goes the runner, and the 1-1 pitch is drilled fair down the right field line into the corner. Rounding third, on his way to the plate, Joey Morosco, he will score. Racing to third base is Tate Hammond, and he's in with a triple, and the Knights lead it 5-2. A hit and run three-bagger for Tate Hammond. He has remained scorching hot. 5-2 Knights. A hit and run triple into the right field corner for Tate Hammond. And Maverick Russell will come to the plate, and Coach Cota now will instruct his infielders to come all the way in at the edge of the green. Here in the bottom of the sixth, down 3 runs, can ill afford to fall behind any further. Ryan McClaskey to the plate and misses high, ball 1, 1-0. Junior in the Kingdom hit a ground ball to second. It did not bust out of the box. The second baseman for the Twins bobbled the ball. Griffey then tried to find the extra gear and was thrown out. And when Ken went back out to center field, Kirby Puckett met him on the way back in and had a talk. It was early in Junior's career. And it was essentially Kirby saying, that's why you hustle all the time. The pitch to Maverick, a chopper over the mound, over second, into center field, base hit. Maverick Russell with his second hit. Tate Hammond down the line to score. One guy leaving UCLA, another guy entering, but the Bruins juxtapose for a moment here in Corvallis. With the triple for Hammond, the RBI single for Maverick Russell, the Knights lead it 6-2. Ethan Porter, the batter. Ethan is singled, walked, and struck out. He bunts up along third. This will trickle foul. Sharp left turn, in fact, rather than that of just trickling foul. It bounced and took a sharp turn left. Let me see. I've been looking to see. Okay, the 829 is on time. I've been wondering. Out beyond the right field fence. There she is. Some of the sounds of, speaking of the Mariners and listening and watching games over the years, the late, great Dave Niehaus, Rick Riz coming down the stretch of his brilliant career, his final year. But that sound in the background that we're hearing here has been a pleasant sound over the summers at Safeco, now T-Mobile, with the sound of the trains going by. Somebody's making the trains run on time. It's about the only thing I've ever known, and that seemed to be why he rose to great power, right? He made the trains run on time. Okay, well, let's make him the dictator then. I've never fully researched that out, that phrase of why El Duce rose to power. Well, he made the trains run. Oh, okay, well, that's good enough for me. More power to you. I've never understood it. The strike 2 pitch, fastball taken. Strike 3 called. Ethan Porter looks at a called third. 1 away, and Dakota Chun will make his way to the plate. Dakota has grounded to second, sacrificed, scored a run, and grounded to third. 6-2 Knights in the bottom of the sixth inning. Maverick Russell at first. He goes, and the pitch to Dakota. Stroke to right field. Base hit. Another hit and run execution to perfection. Russell to third. Dakota Chun with a base hit to right. And Brooke Knight and the Knights trying to get into the right kind of groove here coming down the stretch. 2 hit and runs in the inning. 1 a hit and run triple leading to a run. Here a hit and run base hit to right, enabling Maverick Russell to go to third. And Ryan Severance 2 for 3 on the night with a chance to add to the Knights' lead. The infield a double play depth for the Raptors. Ryan shows bunt and takes the fastball high from Ryan McClaskey. 1 ball and no strikes the count. McClaskey now at Northwestern Oklahoma State, Camas High School, Lower Columbia College to Northwestern Oklahoma State. Severns misses a bunt attempt with Brooke Knight thinking in terms of the safety squeeze. Brooke goes through a sequence of signs in the third base box. Maverick Russell at third, Dakota Chun at first, Ryan at the plate with a count of 1-1 to Severns, the Knights' third baseman. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. Zane Garvey on deck. Ryan McClaskey comes set. The 1-2 pitch to Severns. Fastball lifted to left and deep. Josh Proctor drifts back. Great job done by Severns. Josh the catch. Russell tags. Maverick scores. Ryan Severns with a sacrifice fly to left. And the Knights lead it 7-2. Zane Garvey will be the hitter. The Knights are running the second, 3 in the third, and now 3 here in the sixth. A battery of McClaskey, and McCluskey working now on Zane Garvey. Dakota Chun at first with 2 down. The pitch to Zane is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. McClaskey out of Camas, which is also the setting for one of the great modern day novels. David James Duncan, The Brothers K. Soft liner at the second baseman, Jordan Marion. Camas featured prominently in that outstanding book. The strike one pitch leading to that soft liner caught by Jordan Marion, and that's that for the Knights. But that was a good and productive inning. After seeing their lead cut in half from 4-0 to 4-2, the Knights get 3 in the sixth inning and push the lead back out for Jack Galanita as we go to the seventh. The Knights 7, the Raptors 2, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back, laugh out loud, and just be. Hit the pop shop for quick snacks and take in the moment, or just chill with your pup and soak up the good life. Stay original at Hotel Corvallis.
Make sure you swing by Little King's Kitchen and TNT Building Party after a walk or two beer garden. Grab yourself a delicious, refreshing 2 times beverage on sale for just $5 tonight during 2 times Tuesday. Or swing on down to the main gate and section stands and pick up some hand scooped ice cream. Leading off the 7th inning for Ridgefield, the third baseman, number 10, Nate Stuyvesant.
Through 6 innings at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, the Corvallis Knights, 7 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. Ridgefield, 2 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. Jack Galanita, who retired the Raptors in order in the 6th, goes to work on Nate Stuyvesant in the 7th and starts him with a strike taken. The 0-1 pitch fouled straight back. 0-2 to Nate, who is grounded to second and struck out. Stuyvesant out of Redondo Union High School, appeared in the North Woods League earlier this year, began his collegiate career at Stanford, now back in the Southland at LMU. Kind of a throwback guy, and glad to see it. He swings and fouls one at the plate. No balls and 2 strikes to Stuyvesant. Nate played 4 sports at Redondo Union High School. 4. and played football, one of them, for Keith Ellison. No balls and 2 strikes. Galanita delivers. Breaking ball swung out and missed. Strike 3. Stuyvesant strikes out to open the 7th. Ben Strutt, 2 for 2 out of the 9-hole, the batter. Ben hit a line drive that Ethan Porter lost in the sun for a double in the 3rd, singled and scored in the 5th. Both of the runs for Ridgefield in the 5th inning. The Knights have continued to stay hot after winning their series at Yakima Valley, 7 runs and 10 hits tonight. Galanita misses down and away to Strutt. Ball 1, 1-0. Jack working with his battery mate Xavier Rios. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Good breaking ball. In there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Around the infield, Maverick Russell at first. Tate Hammond at second. Joey Morosco at short. Ryan Severns at third with Ethan Porter in left. Max Medina in center. Zane Garvey in right. Galanita's 1-1 fastball in there. Strike 2. 1-2 the count. 7-2 Knights, top of the 7th inning. Game 1 of 3 tomorrow night back here at 6:35. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball down. Ball 2, 2-2. Galanita, more appearances than anyone else in this summer of 2026 for the Knights. Delivers a fly ball toward the gap in right field. A diving catch by Zane Garvey in the alley, 2 down. What a play by Zane Garvey. One of the plays of the year, Maverick Russell turns and looks out from first base to his right fielder, and Maverick throws both hands high in the air in salute to Zane Garvey. Tremendous catch by Zane, 2 down. Zach Wattis will be the hitter. A catch of similar proportions made during the regular season for Oregon State's Josh Proctor down the road. A great catch in Eugene, similar to that in the regional in Eugene. The first pitch missing, the 1-0 pitch, a ground ball slowly to the right of Hammond. Tate charges and swipes at the ball, got a glove on it, but not a clean pick. And Brooks Hatch again, and a night with some tough decisions for the official scorekeeper. Contemplating this one, is yet to render his decision, and it will be an error on Tate Hammond. That's a tough one, because even if he fields cleanly, it's going to be close with the fast Zach Wattis. But it does go E4, and Jordan Marion the hitter. The pitch is in there for a strike. Brooks Hatch is sort of the, I don't know how many of you have ever heard of the film critic, John Simon. If you haven't, that's fine. Your life has proceeded probably just fine without ever having read John Simon. The strike 1 pitch swung on and fouled at the plate in the count 0-2. On the other hand, if you're a movie buff, and I think I might be, but if you are, I sure wish I could be a Civil War buff, said George in Seinfeld. If you do like movies and like film criticism, John Simon is hilarious. He's brilliant. But he didn't like many movies. If he liked a movie, it had to be pretty good. And it feels to me Brooks Hatch is sort of the John Simon of baseball scorekeepers. If he gives you a hit, you earned it. No balls and 2 strikes to Jordan Marion. A throw to first. Zach Wattis back to the bag. I mean, I'm saying Wattis might have beaten the throw even if Hammond had fielded cleanly. So to me, that puts it in a different kind of area. And a scorekeeper's got to kind of take all of that into consideration. Zach drawing another throw and gets back. No balls and 2 strikes to Jordan Marion. 7-2 Knights in the 7th. Galanita to the plate. Breaking ball down and away. Wattis 6'4", 210. Impressive looking baseball player getting his lead from first. 7-2 Knights in the 7th. Jack Galanita out of the stretch. Turns and throws to first, and Wattis back to the bag. One ball and 2 strikes the count. Jack ready, and the right-hander delivers. Fastball up and away. Ball 2, 2-2. One other former Beaver note, Brandon Eisert for the Pirates, 2 innings, a hit. No earned runs in his 2 innings. Ground ball to short, grabbed by Joey Marasco back of second. Joey hustles to the bag for the force on Wattis. And that's that for Ridgefield in the 7th. No runs, no hits, an error, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 7th on this pleasant night. We'll learn the attendance in a moment. Things have cooled off a bit, but it is a beautiful night for baseball. The fans rising to sing the biggest hit, according to Casey Kasem's countdown in 1908. Take me out to the ball game. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 7-2 Knights, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Seven to 2 Knights, bottom of the 7th inning. Max Medina stepping in against the right-hander Ryan McClaskey. McClaskey delivering a first pitch strike to Max, comes back and delivers just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike, the 1-1 slider in there for strike 2. 1-2 to Max Medina, who sacrificed, had an RBI fielder's choice, and singled to center. Bottom of the 7th, 7-2 in game 1 of this 3-game series. Breaking ball, lined into center field, base hit. The Knights getting their 11th hit of the night. A solid single to center by Max Medina to open the 7th, and Max will be looking to run. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Brooke Knight, I should say, over at third base, has been coaching it very aggressively this evening, sending runners. And he has Max Medina at first base, tied for the team lead in stolen bases with 12. Held on by Braden Watson. McClaskey delivers, first pitch swinging. Xavier Rios swings and misses. 0-1 the count. Xavier has fouled out, singled home a run, and struck out looking. No balls and a strike to Xavier. The right-hander Ryan McClaskey delivers, and the strike 1 pitch missing down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. I guess it's a way Sydney has written in to say, and she's growing up in as a younger person in the younger generation and the architect of MLBeeves.com. A toss over to first, and back to the bag goes Medina. I think it's important to work in the count on every pitch for the most part. My gosh, what a beautiful full moon rising in straightaway center field. What a sight. The 1-1 fastball just misses inside ball two. But see, I mean, I do. But the count is pronounced and stands out in the way it's delivered in the modern era. The 2-2, the 1-1. And I don't even think about it, and I hadn't thought about it until I've been hearing it so much lately from the younger generation. The 2-1 pitch to Rios, swung on and lifted foul off the netting and into Urchin Alley to my right. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. And so, Sydney, it's habit, force. I mean, I don't even think about it until I've noticed it. But it's not, you wrote to me, I appreciate hearing the count. It keeps, I and many others who don't do the 2-2 say the 2-2 pitch, a breaking ball line to left field. Josh Proctor misplays it. The ball goes off his glove to the base of the fence, digging for third, Max Medina, and he gets there. Josh Proctor lost a ball in the sun earlier. This time he just lost a ball and dropped it. And Brooks, who again is contemplating here, the ball was well struck, but for me that's an error all the way. And we'll see if Brooks agrees. We're looking at the scoreboard, waiting and waiting. And it's going to go as a hit on a ball that Proctor needs to catch. I don't think there's any doubt about that, but it was well struck. There's a beautiful full moon rises as we look south and southeast out of the adjacent area to the McGrath family press box. Second and third, nobody out. Joey Morosco takes the first pitch, a little low and inside, ball 1, 1-0. Max Medina at third, Xavier Rios with a double, his second hit of the night. Now it's second. The benefit of the doubt given just simply on how well Xavier made contact. This 1-0 pitch, a strike to Joey, and the count 1-1. 7-2 Knights, bottom of the 7th. Coach Cota instructs his infielders to play in. Braden Watson at first, Jordan Marion at second, Braden Orem at short, Nate Stuyvesant at third. Second and third, nobody out. The 1-1 fastball popped up into shallow center, probably not deep enough. Max Medina on the bag, Ben Strutt the catch and throws it back in to his cutoff man, Braden Watson. One away. Good pitch by Ryan McClaskey, inducing soft contact and a shallow fly ball to center for out number 1. Tate Hammond to the plate with runners at second and third and 1 out. Tate, an RBI hit and run triple last inning. Takes the first pitch here from McClaskey, down and away, ball 1, 1-0. Max Medina at third, Xavier Rios at second. 7-2 Knights in the bottom of the 7th inning. The 1-0 pitch, Tate swings and lifts it foul towards Waldo. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. That is one of the more impressive rising moons I've seen. In fact, the most impressive in the summer of 2026. I hope you're getting a good look at it wherever you are. It's a spectacular sight here from the ballpark. The 1-1 pitch, low and inside, ball 2. 2-1 to Tate Hammond. Maverick Russell on deck. Max Medina at third, Xavier Rios at second, 1 out. McClaskey from the stretch comes to the plate. 2-1 pitch is a chopper right at the first baseman, Braden Watson, who looks back. Max Medina, who stays put at third. Watson steps on the bag for out number 2. And Maverick Russell, who has flied to left, had a bunt single, walked, and an RBI single last inning to the plate. And Ryan McClaskey trying to do his level best to keep his team at least on the fringe of contention in this one. I see fans standing up with their phones taking a picture, taking pictures of the beautiful full moon out in dead center. The pitch to Maverick, breaking ball strike from McClaskey. 0-1 the count. The Knights appeared to be ready to bust this thing wide open. Leading 7-2, runners at second and third and nobody out. Now runners at second and third and 2 outs. Maverick looking for the clutch 2-out hit. Takes a fastball. Belled high for a strike in the count 0-2. Now, in fairness, I thought the Rios ball should have been caught, so McClaskey facing the second and third nobody out situation, not necessarily all of his own making. The strike 2 pitch to Russell, breaking ball down. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Max Medina at third, Xavier Rios at second. 7-2 Knights, bottom of the 7th inning, 1-2 to Maverick Russell. Ethan Porter on deck. McClaskey from the stretch, delivers, breaking ball, got him looking. It's really nice work by Ryan McClaskey. A base hit and a double, second and third, nobody out. He works out of it to put up a 0. On a night, otherwise, the Knights have executed well, not so much here in the 7th. But they are 6 outs away from taking game 1 of the series. And the Knights will go to the bullpen now. We'll find out whom when we return. We'll take a Wilson Motors 2-minute pitching change break at the end of 7. The Knights 7, the Raptors 2, back in 2 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Our forests provide renewable wood products, beautiful views, and recreational opportunities in Benton, Lynn, and Lincoln counties. Come spend time in our forests. Start your forests. Growing forests, not just trees.
Your pitcher for the Knights for the University of Oregon, number 14, Cooper Markham.
Right-hander Cooper Markham is the new pitcher for the Corvallis Knights as we go to the 8th inning. Cooper wants to talk with his battery mate, Xavier Rios, to get on the same page with him with respect to the signs, with Josh Proctor leading matters off. And because it was simply a matter of communication and not so much strategy here, Bryce Reeves trotting out to accompany Xavier Rios to the hill to make sure that that's all that was being talked about. Signals and being on the same page and not, hey, should we start him with the cutter or not? First pitch missing outside, ball 1. 1-0 to Josh Proctor, or Jordan the pitch on the way. Missing to Josh for ball 2 from Cooper. 2 balls and no strikes. In the top of the 8th inning, 7-2 Knights. The 2-0 pitch, Josh, an inside-out swing, a fly ball to right field, right at Zane Garvey. Josh 1 for 4 One away, Braden Watson will be the hitter.
Now at the plate, first baseman number 30, Braden Watson.
Braden Watson, the batter. Braden has had an infield single, grounded into a double play, and struck out. Cooper Markham works from the stretch with nobody on. The right-hander getting ready for, I left the, Sydney, your beautiful light that you gave me, I left it on. And I need a charge, and I can't get it. So I have to go back to the old-fashioned phone flashlight as it begins to darken up, although the moon looks like it would light the entire world tonight. Incredible. The pitch hit foul into Urchin Alley. No balls and 2 strikes. I'm going to have to get this puppy charged, but Sydney, thank you. The light has worked wonderfully, but not if you leave it on, and I did somehow, some way. 0-2 the count. Slider swung on and missed. Strike 3. 2 down in the top of the 8th inning. Good start for Cooper Markham. 7-2 Knights. And that'll bring Aaron Lewis to the plate. Seeing the full moon rise, I'm going to have to go back and look. I talk often about some of the great baseball literature and the essays written about the game. If I'm remembering correctly, Game 6 of 75, the World Series of 75, Red Sox Reds, I believe when Fisk hit the home run and he waved it fair, that was a full moon night that the fans in the hub in Boston got to experience. Fastball for a strike and the count 1-1. So somebody please, was it a full moon night, Game 6 in the 75 series? You can look it up, said the old professor. You can look anything up, and I'm sure, I don't know what the date was of that. The 1-1 fastball swung out and missed. But one of the essays, I believe, by Roger Angel in his excellent baseball anthologies spoke of the full moon somehow being apropos for that incredible ball game, Game 6 of the 75 series. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Aaron Lewis, 2 down, nobody on, 7-2 Knights in the 8th. Cooper Markham to the plate, fastball hit foul off to the left and out of play. The Knights trying to get things going on the right note for this series. They've won their last 2 series. They lead this one 7-2 with 2 outs in the 8th inning. The pitch from Cooper misses a little bit high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cooper Markham looking for the 1-2-3 inning as he makes his 8th appearance, 11 1/3 innings. Control has been a bit of a problem with 12 free passes, but he's also punched out 21 in his 11 innings. And here we get the full picture along those lines with the 2-2 pitch missing for ball 3. 3-2. Cooper comes set. The 3-2 pitch is very high. So that is sort of the, in one batter, in microcosm, what we've seen from the talented Cooper Markham. High strikeout number, but also an inordinate number of walks to go with it. And he issues the 2-out free pass to Aaron Lewis. Braden Orem, the batter. Braden is struck out, grounded to third, and grounded to second. Big Cooper, 6'3", 230-pounder. Kicks and comes to the plate. Fastball in there for a strike. 93 on the gun. Pretty firm. In fact, the firmest of fastballs that I've seen on the live stream monitor all night. I think that live stream monitors also showed a pretty good view of the full moon out in center field. It's a spectacular sight that, as I mentioned, many of the fans have been rising up and taking photographs of. Straightaway center field, hovering just above the head of Max Medina. The pitch to Orem, foul back in the count 0-2. Fastball hit foul down the right field side. That shot shows you what I'm talking about. Maybe not quite dead center, slightly off center. That's the best I've seen all summer. It looks good. No balls and 2 strikes to Braden Oram. Aaron Lewis at first, 2 down. The strike 2 pitch from Cooper misses down and away. One ball and 2 strikes the count. Top of the 8th inning. Game 2 tomorrow night. 6:20 pregame. Breaking ball tap slowly foul. Probably will visit with Micah Hagler tomorrow. Ryan Severns may indeed be our Washington Park Advisors player of the game. There's a number of candidates tonight. With the Knights leading 7-2, Ryan Severns certainly in the mix, but I haven't had a chance to visit with Micah yet. And enjoyed Tate Hammond earlier tonight, the first of the summer with him. Breaking ball in there, strike 3 called. Cooper Markham with an impressive inning here in the 8th. Couple of strikeouts, he does issue a walk, but he continues to pile up the Ks. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Knights 7, Ridgefield 2, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio.
Welcome. We're looking to switch and heard about OCCU. In 20 words, what makes OCCU different?
OCCU has free interest earning checking, high yield savings, and a community focus.
That's only 11.
We're the credit union with duck and beaver cards.
Sounds like OCCU has a lot to offer.
OCCU has been around for 70 years. We've learned a thing or two.
Switch to OCCU. Apply online at myoccu.org or at your local branch.
Bottom of the 8th inning, the Knights leading Ridgefield by a score of 7-2. The Raptors go with right-hander Caleb Campbell. Caleb, big man out of Josh Proctor country, 6'5", 235-pounder. Actually, no, I was transposing. Let me see here. I may have. Yeah, okay. Caden and Josh are right next to each other on my roster, which I'm trying to espy using not Sydney's wonderful nightlight that she brought me a couple of weeks ago, but my own somewhat unreliable flashlight on my phone. It is Proctor from Altadena. I thought, wow, back 2 guys on the same roster from Altadena. No, Proctor from Maranatha High in Altadena. Caleb Campbell out of Monroe High School in Monroe, Washington. Takes over for Ridgefield in the bottom of the 8th inning and will face Ethan Porter to lead things off. Ethan from the Southland, as is Josh Proctor. Ethan out of Huntington Beach, Costa Mesa actually, but Huntington Beach High School. Ethan has singled, walked, and struck out twice. Campbell's breaking ball misses down and away, ball 1, 1-0. Caleb, I believe, is on his way to Gonzaga. That's one thing that I didn't get confirmed with Jack Connolly before the game. Lanky righty to the plate, misses with a fastball down and away, ball 2, 2-0. 7 runs, 12 hits for the Knights. Ethan takes a fastball, knee high for a strike. 2-1 to Ethan Porter. The Knights an unearned run in the second, had 3 runs in the third and 3 in the sixth. Campbell to the plate. Fastball drilled to center and deep. Back on the ball goes Ben Strutt. Still going back. The ball carries over his head and off the top of the fence on a bounce. Porter takes a turn and will hold at second. A leadoff double for Ethan Porter. That ball was smoked to left center field. Near the Ditch Witch West sign and the Hotel Corvallis sign. Be sure to check out hotelcorvallis.com when you're considering inviting friends and family to stay. Hotel Corvallis downtown, a perfect launching pad for Beaver games, Knights games, and everything in between in beautiful downtown Corvallis. Hotel Corvallis, book direct at hotelcorvallis.com. Dakota Chun, the batter, a leadoff double for Ethan Porter, the Knights' 13th hit. Caleb Campbell to the plate. First pitch fastball on the inside for a strike. 0-1 the count to Dakota, who was grounded to second, sacrificed, was aboard on an error on that sacrifice, grounded to third, and singled to right, scored a run. Dakota swings, and it's a high fly ball to right field. Moving in and under is Zach Wattis. Porter tags and holds, and Wattis throws a strike at the feet of the third baseman, Nate Stuyvesant. One away, and Ryan Severns, the hitter. Ryan is the leader in the clubhouse. Faith Nashif from the Knights staff came up an inning or so ago, and you know, usually what happens when the interns come, they just come and look at me a little bit, sort of like, and I'm not, don't get me wrong here, but a little bit like my friends at home, Bo and B, will just come up and look at me. They're part, you know, they're our dogs, is what I'm trying to say. And believe, oh, Faith, no. But they just come and give me this look, staring me down. Porter's racing to third, and Ethan will get in safely on a stolen base. Good for Ethan. Good jump, stealing it on Ryan McClaskey. And another stolen base means another $50, $25 each from Pape Material Handling and the Knights to Community Outreach, Inc., helping people through difficult and challenging times to lead healthy and productive lives. Community Outreach, Inc. Porter, the steal, his 11th. You understand what they just stare, waiting for me to say something or do something. The 2-0 pitch on the way. A line drive to center field. This will be deep enough to score Porter. Strutt moves back to make the catch. Ryan Severns, who was the leader in the clubhouse. Faith was staring and staring at me. Do you have something to say to me? Yeah. I took the headset off after the stare down and said, Ryan Severns. Well, he was the leader in the clubhouse, and he's just clinched it with a sacrifice fly to center field. Another run batted in. Porter coming in to score. The Knights lead it 8-2. Zane Garvey, the batter. The third RBI of the night with 2 runs scored and 2 base hits for Ryan Severns, our Washington Park Advisors player of the game, on a sacrifice fly to center. 8-2 Knights in the bottom of the 8th. Zane Garvey takes ball 1 from Caleb Campbell. The 1-0 pitch, off speed, lined into left center field, base hit. Appeared to take a little something off the fastball, and Garvey stayed back, hit behind the ball for the base hit to left. The 14th hit of the night for the Knights, who lead it 8-2. Max Medina, the hitter, is sacrificed, had an RBI ground out, singled to center in the 6th, and singled to center again in the 7th. So Max at the plate looking for a 3-hit night. 8-2 Knights, bottom of the 8th inning. Game 2 tomorrow night, 6:20 pregame. Micah Hagler, I believe, will be my pregame show guest, and we'll have an opportunity to talk about his high school days and playing at Seattle U. I like his start tonight. He went 5 innings, 2 runs, and is the pitcher of record. Ground ball to the left of the second baseman. The throw to first is not in time. Jordan Marion ranging to his left, went to his knees in shallow right, threw to first too late. And Max Medina with his third hit in a row. The Knights with 15 base hits. Zane Garvey into second, Xavier Rios to the plate. 2 on and 2 out. Sydney has confirmed, thank you Sydney for that Game 6 of the 75 World Series, the official full moon had been the night before. So it was very nigh unto full for the Classic in Boston in 75. Rios, good contact, a line drive right at the second baseman, Marion. The inning is over, but the Knights get a run, a double for Porter, and a sacrifice fly for Ryan Severns. We go to the top of the 9th inning. The Knights 8 and Ridgefield 2. And it looks like Luke Scheffler will come in, looking for the final 3 outs of the night. 8-2 Knights to the 9th. Luke Scheffler to the hill, looking for the final 3 outs. Chris Cota is emptying his bullpen. All the guys are running in and out of the bullpen. That's almost a look to me of the sign of retreat. We go to the 9th, back in 90 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. Scheffler looking for the final 3 outs. Steve Kimmel sitting to my left said, I remember a game when the Mariners had like an 11-run lead late and then they ended up losing. I said, yeah, and I think that cost them 117 wins in 2001. Look it up, please, Sydney, if you can. That year against Cleveland, I think, Lou started substituting guys out, taking people out of the games, stopped running bases, all of that late in the game. Substituted a lot of his starters. Cleveland came back to win, and Seattle only won 116 that year instead of breaking the record with 117. Luke Scheffler's first pitch, a strike. Now the 0-1 offering a ground ball, back of the mound, back of second. Tate Hammond tries to flag it. The ball goes off his glove, deflected into left field. A base hit for Reagan McCluskey on a ground ball back up the middle. A leadoff single here in the top of the 9th inning. Nate Stuyvesant, the batter, has grounded out, struck out, and struck out again. And we may have a hitter here now for Stuyvesant. And we do. Liam Ostrom is the batter, a local kid out of Ridgefield High School and College of the Canyons. Liam Ostrom at the plate, batting for Stuyvesant. Luke Scheffler, a local kid from out right here out of Crescent Valley High School, now at Linfield College, delivers a breaking ball away, ball 1, 1-0. Ostrom, the batter, pinch hitting in the 9th. Little surprised to see Chris Cota bring everybody in from his bullpen. Scheffler's fastball in there for a strike. The count 1-1. Luke went 4 innings in his last outing for a save against Bend, 4 scoreless. and did so even without command of his best pitch, which is the slider. He comes with a 1-1 pitch away, ball 2, 2-1. He relied on spotting and locating his fastball well and his changeup, hoping to get that good slider working again. That has been a very effective pitch for him. The 2-1 pitch from Luke. Fastball, a chopper wide of first, grabbed by Russell. He goes to second for one, on to first, not in time, but a nice play by Maverick Russell. The throw back to Luke covering, not in time, but a good play by Maverick. And Luke Scheffler, I can tell, walking back towards the bump, is saying, hey, nice job, Maverick, who made a good play ranging to his right. Ostrom aboard on the fielder's choice, 3-6, one away. It's all about outs now. 8-2 Knights in the top of the ninth inning. Ben Strutz had a good ball game. Doubled, singled, and lined to right on a diving catch in right center field by Zane Garvey, one of the catches of the year. Ben Strutt takes down and away, ball 1, 1-0. 8-2 Knights. Top of the ninth inning. Luke Reddy comes to the plate and misses a little bit low. Ball 2, 2-0. Luke picking up his first save in his last outing. 17 and a third innings coming in, a record of 1-0. Delivers a ground ball to the left of Marasco, shovels to Hammond for one to first. Double play. The ball game is over on a beautifully turned 6-4-3. The toss from Marasco, barehanded by Hammond on the bag at second. Fired a strike to first, and that's that. Luke Scheffler faces the minimum in his one inning of work. It's a double play to end the game, and the Knights take game one of the series by a final score of 8-2. For the Knights, 8 runs, 15 hits, and 1 error. The Raptors, 2 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors. Micah Hagler gets the win, and he will be my pregame show guest tomorrow at 6:20. Ryan Severns with a tremendous ball game for the Knights on this full moon night in Corvallis. We look forward to visiting with Micah and seeing the Knights try to stay hot and continue the playoff push tomorrow night. That's going to do it for tonight. I want to thank all of you for tuning our way. For Dale Hummel back in our 1240 Joe Radio studios, and for Everett Barty and Brian Thomas and Brooks Hatch and the McGrath family press box, this is Mike Parker thanking you for joining us. The Knights getting hot at the right time. Defeat Ridgefield. The final score, the Knights 8, the Raptors 2. See you tomorrow night right back here at 6:20 on the Knights live stream and Joe Radio. So long, everybody.